Today we're going to talk about a little bit of zodiac animals, dragons. Hey, they might be real. DJT and gold. A little bit of economy of nothing gaming. Also, Mel Gibson sells out. Don't forget about on this episode streaming services and the fucking ads that come with them. And we're going to talk about how ice cream just ain't what it used to be. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Economy of Nothing, the Economy of Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Mike Allen, aka Mr. Green, aka Man, the Myth, the Legend, aka Business Mike. Not great at it today, to be honest with you. Maybe it's because it took me 5 hours to mow the grass. Anyways, I'm sitting here with my co-host, the original Captain Tracy, aka Mike Bedont. Mike Bedont, say hello.
Hello, like, subscribe, share, rate, review, whatever you gotta do.
And always, folks, we do ask you to go to theeconomyofnothing.com. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Also, support our Patreon. Mike Bedont lost his job. He needs money. So, let's help him out, folks. And also,
we can't seem desperate. We have to be like, nah, I got so much money. Like, you know what? Give me some money and like, I won't even notice it is like what you need to tell people, right? Like, give me your meaningless money or whatever, right? Like, you can't have desperation when you're, asking people.
I love the new tag. I think the new tagline should just be, for $1 a day, you can give Mike Bedont a slice of pizza. And just the idea of you living off pizza while being unemployed for the whole time.
I mean, everyone could be 50% responsible for me getting the pizza.
Can we make like a UNICEF commercial of just like Mike Bedont, like just walking the streets of like Mike Bedont's apartment? It's like, here's where people that don't have jobs, looking for jobs, doing podcasts. It's just $1 a day. You can feed Mike Bedont and his dog, Mississippi.
We can't have this just become like the unemployed podcast or whatever. But boy, howdy, is it a real. I understand like a lot of people have it a lot worse than me being unemployed and stuff. But like, man, it is just an absolute motherfucker. Like,
honestly,
there's nothing to do, and everything costs. So you can't go anywhere without dropping double-digit money, right? Like, it's just like. You go to the park. I live by the beach. I can go to the beach. Do you know what I mean? But at a certain point, like, you go to the beach with people, and they're like, "Oh, and now we're gonna go out to eat." And I'm like, "Well, there's. If you want to just go out to eat, what do you like? And just get food. What are you getting out of there at less than $20? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Less than 20. Oh man.
Well, like I'm saying, like you go to like I feel like you go to like a sub shop and you got to drop like $18 for like a fucking sub.
No, the only reason that I even like make a joke is because I haven't walked away. I have a family of 4. I haven't walked away less than 20 in like fucking 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, one of the real times like, no, this is like getting crazy is like it must have been like last fall maybe or something. I went to go like pick my nephews up from school and I took them to go get ice cream and it was like 3 ice cream cones. It was $35.
Here's the thing about ice cream. All right, I actually have a really big riff and a complaint because like, dude, I love ice cream, right? I don't like ice cream in the sense of like it's such an ordeal now. Like everywhere you go to get like an ice cream cone, it's so novelty and they're like $7, $8, $9 and you get like a giant cone with like 5, like it's like half a gallon of ice cream in your freaking cone. And it's like, I'd much rather just pay you like $3 for 1 scoop on like just a cake cone. I don't need a half a carton of ice cream. Frankly, I don't want that much ice cream. I'll have to take a nap. I feel gross after eating that much ice cream. I just want maybe like whatever the serving is on the back of the ice cream. I think it's like half a cup. I'll do double that. Like give me a whole cup on a cone. And then that should mark the price down. Like, why do we? At what point?
Because
go to the $9 ice cream.
Because the lower tiers are supplementing the upper tiers, right? And whether you're talking ice cream or whatever, right? Is like because they're doing this novelty shit. That's all like overhead, right? Mm-hmm. So like that doesn't raise the base price of their ice cream, but it in their like organizational finance raises the base price of the ice cream to them because they're separating out all their bullshit expenses over the cost of ice cream, right? Like, oh well,
Right.
we have to pay everyone for the stupid hats they wear, or so, there's like dumb expenses like, oh well, it costs a lot to have all of these like really special ingredients out here or whatever, right? But that price is going into the price of your ice cream because those special ingredients don't cost the price that they are, because when you look at like, even you see in like coffees or anything else, the prices just don't add up. Like 2 cups of ice cream doesn't cost twice the amount of a cup of ice cream, right? But like, where are they getting these fucking numbers, right? It's they're separating out all this
Listen,
bullshit overhead, right? Like,
I'm just saying, listen. Okay, yeah, that was a roundabout way of saying, yeah, they charge way too much for ice cream. My thing is, you could sell more ice cream to probably more people. And I don't think I'm alone in this. Listeners, chime in, leave a comment. Do you think the average ice cream scoop on any given ice cream parlor is way too big? And you would probably go out and get ice cream more often if it wasn't for the fact that you were literally eating, you know, a diabetic's worth of ice cream every time you go out. Let us
yes,
know.
man. Like, I'll let you know right now. And yeah, comment. Good job, Mike. The No, I think that like yeah, like part of the problem when you go places is that like everything's like a big thing that like it's bigger than you want, and then they're like, yes, but because it's so big, that justifies the price,
It
right? But
justifies
we
the price. And I was
but,
like, but
but
I'll
we
just give
all
you
want,
less money, less ice cream. That's all I want. It's just like,
yeah,
I'm here for the experience with my children so that they have a good time, right?
yeah,
But I'm taken out of that good time because every goddamn ice cream is like $10. And I'm just like, I could buy literally 6 or 7 cartons of ice cream at
yeah,
home for the amount that I pay out, like for 4 people having ice cream. Like
yeah.
it became a meal. Like I think it's the same as like going to any fast food chain for breakfast now. It's like at least $10 an ice cream. It's just gonna keep
Dude,
going up to the store. By the end of this episode, it's gonna be like 19.99 per ice cream.
I
I mean,
mean,
that's where we're headed, folks. If you don't know.
but like it is to like at a certain point, right? Like we're getting to this point where like I don't know, like $10 is like the minimum, right? Like everything's just 9.99, and like it's like their real thing they're saying to you every time you walk into the store is like, fuck you, you're not gonna go somewhere else, and there's nowhere else to go, right? Like, and it's like you could shop around for some of this stuff, right? But like it's just like you it's all such inconsequential purchases at a certain point that like what are you can't go to the cheapest ice cream place. You just have to go to the ice cream place that's like near you or whatever, right? And so like
Yeah,
I guess that's where like the gimmick of it all comes, right? It's because like the most successful ice cream place would either be the best positioned ice cream place or the place with the best ice cream, right? But like we can't have that, right? The best ice
yeah,
cream place needs to be the one that's using like unpasteurized milk, and that's like the hardest one to get to, or something, right? Like you like there,
yeah,
there's this
yeah.
there's this
Farm to
place in
table
deep
ice cream. Let's
this
stop talking
place.
about ice cream. I'm ready for a new
We
subject.
okay. Well,
Mike,
You're the one who
topics.
wanted
It's
the
my
soft
show. Fuck
open.
you. No. Anyways, um, so hey, talking topics. You had a couple you wanted to talk about. How about this? Ramble them out to me. Like if there's anything that is a subject matter that you can hit and within like a sentence, and then let's pick one. Right?
Okay. Rowdy by Roku, a new streaming service for 2.99. That's saying no ads, two
Okay.
ninety nine. It's
That's
like
enough.
their
Next one.
pitch.
Next one. Next subject. Next
Okay.
subject. What else you got?
Yeah, okay. I didn't have a list like this. We were having just a random conversation. I was
Okay,
going to talk
go with
about
the
like
Roku.
DC
Go with the
cupcake.
Roku. Bail, bail, bail. Abort.
Well, no,
Audible. Audible.
a couple weeks ago, I had talked about like how I'd let my Disney Plus run out, and I was like, oh man, there's this weird thing that happens with Disney Plus now. It doesn't like log you out. It's like here's all our commercials, right? As Disney Plus gets clogged up with commercials. And you'd said something to me on a call. I don't know if you'd said it on like a call we recorded, or if you said it, just on one of our regular chats. Maybe you said it on twitch.tv/economy of nothing on
Oh, good
Wednesday or
plug.
something. Uh,
EconomyOfNothing.com.
but the uh, but you yet. It was a good plug. I lost it. You have to. I just don't want to watch ads, right?
I
And
really
like,
don't. I don't want to
but
watch
they've
ads.
positioned. They've worked the ads back in. We were out. We were fucking out. We didn't have
We were
ads.
out.
I was given like $7, and I got to watch shows I like without ads, right? And now that's gone, right? And so now this like weird bottom tier of thing that's like, there's been like the
Also,
Pluto TV and stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And can we just has it listeners, I'd love to hear your comments.
You look like you were about to
I would like
sneeze.
to know
I didn't know what was
anybody
gonna
that
happen.
if you're poor like me and all your streaming services have ads and a lot of them because the poorer you are, the more ads you have to watch. So I usually get hit on Amazon Prime like 3 minutes starting, and then I think like HBO likes to pepper it in like right when you're 5 minutes deep into something, and then it's like, oh, here
Yeah,
you go. Here's a fucking thing
I
for
just can't do it.
Tampax. Who's buying that? I need to know. Has anyone bought anything from these ads? I've not
No,
been
Mike,
influenced by one of them.
these the ads are there because it's a revenue stream. But the revenue stream they want is you to pay not for the ads. The ads are there to bother you into buying no ads.
Okay, that's fair. Now let me ask this though. So, the manufacturers, whatever they're selling, they make the product, so they are paying Amazon for the ads. So, I work for a manufacturer. I won't say who because got to keep my private life private. But the point is, it comes down to two things. Either the people that run at the manufacturer are paying for ad stuff because they've always paid for ad stuff and they're just doing it, or they literally are not checking the metrics to see like what they're hitting. Like if you're gonna run I
Yep.
assume they run an ad on TV, right? And then they get some level of lift from it based on the time that it's ran. It has to at least justify that from a purchase perspective. But I just don't know how much would you be able
So
to tell that that
I do
directly
know,
came
like,
from the ad, you know?
so
I
here's
don't
the
know.
thing. I
Yeah.
don't know the exact how this is exactly working, but if you like pay attention to the ads, like a lot of that stuff like tampons, right, those are just generic ad buys that major corporations are doing everywhere, right?
Yeah.
There are corporations whose marketing strategy is saturation, right? And like they're just looking at
Saturation.
like dollars per eyeball or whatever, right? But if you
Penetration.
but if you really
That's a
look at
real
like
that hey, that's a real metric. Household
yeah,
penetration.
market penetration. Well, I don't know what's called
Well,
household
each
penetration.
it's hey, it's different in each one. They want to
Maybe it
hey,
is.
they
I
got to
don't
count
know.
your household so that they know who to target who in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there actually, though. No, the funny thing that I really like
Well,
about
what
the
I was
ads,
gonna
and then we'll
say,
move
what
on to let me get this one part out because it's a great bit, and I don't think you're gonna love it. Okay, so
okay. I mean,
first off,
all
let me
right, I'll
say,
lose my place.
all right, you
What?
lose your place like we always do. So the pharmacy, like the big pharma ads now are great on there because there's like a new law where they can't fast talk through all their like warning stuff anymore. So they have to slow speak it in a very like it is so slow to the point of like overdone because they're like, we're not trying to get hit with any lawsuits. And dude, they come on and they'll be like, try XYZ. If you've tried XYZ, you might get hernias, diarrhea, anal linkage, and it's like it could cause cancer. Also, other symptoms. Like I literally heard one say that it it could literally cause the thing it was trying to block. That was crazy to me. Like I never
Yeah.
heard that before on one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they've always been doing it, but
But normally it's
like,
like what's
yeah, yeah, but
yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah.
no, but like if you listen to those, like this heart disease medication has been known to cause fucking heart disease, right? Like, and
You're
it's
like,
like,
wait a minute.
what? Like it's just fucking crazy. Like there's just like stuff where it's like, oh, are you having like slight heart disease? Like take this medication. Sometimes it causes heart attacks, which of course means like, does this thing work at all? Right? If there are outcomes that are like worse, right, and only some outcomes that are less, and then obviously a lot of outcomes that can't be proven to have worked one way or the other. Like none of this shit does anything, right?
Yeah,
Like
and I think
they're
if we were
thinning
to
your
take it a
blood and
step
they're thickening
further,
your blood, or like yeah.
but well, let's take it a step further, right? Like it's so like I mean, when we think of like over the counter medicine, we think of like ibuprofen, we think of Tylenol. It is a one formula thing. Like, I'm sure they created it, but it's like one ingredient, I think, to it. I don't know how drugs work,
Yeah.
but on the back label, it just says ibuprofen. However they made ibuprofen, I don't know if that was like a scientific thing, a molecule based thing, but all the advanced medicines use like AI, molecular medicine, or like use a bunch of stuff. But it's so my thing is it bad that they have all these symptoms because they're rushing the product, or is it even possible because the medicine is so advanced that there's just no way there's not going to be side effects? Like, because that like is that where we're at with medicine? You know what I mean? Like, is Tylenol and ibuprofen the best we're really going to get? Because if we're
I,
being honest, that's what everybody uses.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
okay,
I think that like we like a lot of things, I think we've hit a wall in medicine, right? In like in that like you see it with like the antibiotics aren't working because like things become like, but we don't have like another idea. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like we're getting better at chemotherapy, but we haven't like no, we have to radiate the bad cells, and hope your other cells make it out is kind of like the only plan that we
okay,
have as an idea. Like scientifically, right? And people are
yeah,
working on other stuff, but a lot of this stuff is like people are just living for a long time. We have more like fucking scans than ever. Like they're just finding shit that's wrong with you. That's always been wrong with everyone forever, right? Like you're gonna die of heart disease or cancer or like Alzheimer's. And if you do, good job. You fucking made it to one of the big three that are gonna fucking kill you, right? Like,
all right, so
you know
that
what I
brings
mean?
up a
Like,
good question.
you didn't
If
get
all right,
hit
so
by a bus. Good job.
okay, so if there's only three natural ways to die,
I
you
don't know.
said
So
you
that's what
no
I'm
no no no
thinking
no.
about. So,
But
you know,
I
it's
like the
like,
example because it's very
yeah,
like it's kind of true. It's like you either die of like I don't think like dying of old age is a real thing. Like something always gets you in the
yeah,
end,
the
right?
entropy of
So
your
it's
body
like
falls apart, right?
yeah,
Like, yes.
but like the assuming that doesn't happen, like in the sense like that's not the thing that takes you out, and it's like, but that does take you out, but you get one of these three things before it takes you out. So it's like cancer. You said Alzheimer's, which I could say like dementia. I think that kind of
Yeah,
covers
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And then
That,
what was the other thing you said?
uh, heart stuff.
Yeah, heart
Your,
disease.
your,
Which yeah,
your, your,
that's great too.
your
Yeah,
heart's going to give out.
a hundred
You're
percent.
going to get riddled with cancer, or your brain's going to go cuckoo
All
bananas,
right, so
right?
if you
Like,
had to
that's it.
pick one,
That's,
it's the new fuck Mary kill. If you had to pick one, Mike, all right,
yeah.
which way would you going out? If you ask me, I think dementia because at least like every day is a new day and maybe you're a new person. It'd be a little scary, but also like you listen. I just think a dementia patient would probably have like some good days. Is my point, as opposed to all bad days. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, it becomes one of those questions like, the answer is heart stuff because it's the thing that I'm most prepared to go from because, like,
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
family. So I'm like, yeah, I've always assumed that's what's going to take me eventually, right? Like, everyone's heart stops beating, right? Like,
right, and all the lean cuisine saturated fat eventually builds up in your arteries and shit.
well,
But no,
no, linguine's too expensive these days, bro. I can't be.
yeah, it is. They are too expensive. No, it's funny you say that though, but with heart disease, like the number one thing that's helped heart disease is kind of the ibuprofen and the Tylenol of the heart disease world, and they're stents, man. They're so simple. They just go in. It's a little thing, widens
Yeah.
your vein up where it's clogged. But it seems to me that sometimes the most minimal solution seems to have the best outcomes in a lot of ways, and it's like we've gotten so far away from that.
Well, because the simpler the solution, the less that can go wrong, right? Like, and
Yeah,
like,
there's less factors, less variables. But
but
my thing
everyone, but
is, why don't we? We maybe we should maybe medicine should take a step back and be like, okay, what's the Tylenol solution to this problem?
yeah, well, I think that, like, it's we kind of talk about on the economy and nothing the way that media has fucked everyone's brains, like like just having 20 years or whatever of fucking pill commercials, like just has people going, what, prescribe me the drug that ends this thing, right? Is what
Yeah,
everyone's saying to their doctor, right? And like
and the
they're
doctors are like,
not,
"You got it, baby. I work for you now because we
no,
got to
they're like,
keep the stock price high."
they're like, I work for some like doctor conglomeration of like things. I
Yeah,
don't like I have
and
to see
those
12 patients a day. I'm just trying to get you
hey,
guys to like fill out a survey or some shit.
yeah, and we got earnings coming up, so I'll prescribe you whatever you want. And that's how the opioid crisis happened, everybody. I'm not even
Yes.
joking. Like, that's how it
Yeah, they just
happened.
get like everyone's like, there's fentanyl coming. What the fuck's going on? Doctors gave people too many fucking drugs, is what happened. Well, like, what the fuck else do you think happened?
Yeah,
Right?
and
Like,
back then they got kickbacks for it. Now they put in a law where it's the same thing, but now only the corporations gain and not the salespeople or the doctors anymore. So it's like you just they just have to do it because at a certain point you have to grow no matter what, and growth becomes hard over time.
yeah, like especially if you don't want to do anything new. Which brings me back really good to talking about the ads on these fucking streaming platforms, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
if you pay attention to most of HBO's ads, they're for fucking HBO or Disney or Hulu. They're propping each other up, buying ad space on each other to try. It's collusion. They're annoying you with their own fucking ads so that you'll pay them more money to get rid of the ads. It's fucking
yeah,
harassment.
I know, and I will not, guys. This is put me on a soapbox and give me a speaker, and I don't know, dress me in a fucking suit, Mike. Whatever you got to animate to get this point across. And maybe some like trumpets behind me. People, listeners, it's time. Now is the time. We have to get out there, and we have to. If we want change, we have to show it with our wallets, and that means we have to watch the ads. We don't have to like them. We don't have to buy them. But I refuse. And you refuse. We all should refuse. Because we want better business models. Like, if you're going to fuck me in the ass all the time, get creative with it, okay? Don't take me from freaking cable TV to streaming to back to cable TV just on a different way. And we all know that's what they did. But
It's
it's too late.
worse than that, Mike, because
Yeah.
HBO now has fucking commercials.
Yes. And I think if you want to watch all NFL channels now, I think it costs across like however many streaming platforms was like $2,000 a year. You used to get that for like 50 to 70 bucks a month with cable. You get it all. And they just
You
they
get the,
just
the
they bench you
DirecTV
over,
Sun,
no cream, baby.
yeah, and
$2,000.
Sunday tickets more expensive than ever, and it has less games. Now they say it has more games, but that's just because they increased the size of the fucking season. There's 2 more weeks of games. The last 2 weeks of games that are at 1 o'clock that are on your Sunday ticket are all the fucking garbage teams because they sold all the good games as flex time to fucking Netflix because they think you're chumps and you fucking are.
Yeah, we are,
like,
aren't we?
like my thing is like it's one of those things that you're screwed because you have kids and you like have to do Disney. Like the answer is to give them fucking nothing, right?
Yeah.
Don't give them
Yeah.
the money for the not ads, right?
Oh,
And
don't
like
get me wrong. I bare minimum.
yes,
I personally
yeah,
think myself is the reason. I don't believe this, but I personally think just my actions alone of canceling all but like two streaming services for like at least 2 years, and then all of a sudden, like I was like, "F you, Disney," because I know you got Hulu hanging out in the UK. Everybody gets
they
to
were just
watch it on
waiting
there,
to do it,
and
man. They
and
were
I
just
and I
waiting to do
knew
it.
I just had this feeling. No, like because you kept complaining about HBO Max not having anything, and I was like, HBO Max is gonna pair with Hulu and Disney. And I come back after I've canceled all those for like 2 years, and
Yeah.
there was like you can get Disney, Hulu, and HBO Max with ads for like $7.99, and I was like, I'll do that. Yeah, you're gonna annoy me with ads, but I at least won that battle. Like I won a little battle. I don't know how I get back in first place, but I won that one. I don't know if it was like we were all just telepathically thinking it, but we made that happen. So that's a feather in our cap.
Well, don't worry. When Disney buys Warner Brothers and there's only one movie studio left, then they'll make the price whatever the fuck they want.
So that brings me to like a really good point, because a lot of times I try to think about how the economy of nothing, not only in the show but the real life economy of nothing that it's inspired by, how could it be fixed? Okay, so like assuming that capitalism is still happening, I think a way that you could fix the currently economy of nothing. I mean, it doesn't fix it, but it definitely like it's a hard restart. I think you have to break up these giant conglomerates like legally, even though I know that like somehow you break them up and then somehow they like find ways to get like back together over time. But my point being is,
They would stay vigilant.
yeah, you got to stay vigilant, and it would have to be like a goal of ours to keep it that way
Yeah,
because like that like you can't value Google accurately from the sense of all its revenue streams. Just think about this alone. Like YouTube is
yeah,
has 55% of the market share. It's higher than any streaming service and it's
yeah.
free. So
And
it's
no one
like,
talks about it. The
dude,
fact that
and
like YouTube's the biggest streaming thing.
Netflix
Yeah,
is like I don't know, like close like a half a trillion dollar company in the sense and it's just Netflix. Like it's all not also selling like cloud
yeah,
services and ad space
yeah,
and Android phones. Like
yeah.
dude, honestly, Google should be if it's valued accurately, if they were all separate business, that would be like a $10 trillion company. Makes me I should probably go buy Google
Be-
now. No,
because like here's the no 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 no.
yeah.
I think you're on to something, right? Because there is one place where there does still seem to be some actual competition. Not much left, but it is in like the server space, right? Like like Google and Amazon and Microsoft are still competing to like Azure and AWS and whatever Google has, like are actually competing to like host stuff from other people. And there's like other places trying to do that. And like, but yeah, like so I think that's what keeps the price of like a Google down is because like Google has to do like quote unquote real things that like do have some comparative value somewhere. Whereas like what's so great about Netflix and why like Apple wants to get in this game is you can just say, hey, like it's fucking white. They're laundering money, Mike. They're laundering money through the entertainment industry, right? They're just doing it.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah.
handing people absurd amounts of money for stuff that people like aren't watching and don't care about. But they're controlling the numbers and they're controlling the narrative because they control the media and the other like. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like you know. I hate sounding so conspiratorial, but it's not. It's just like if they're not doing it, they're bad businessmen in our current environment, right? It's like which is it,
Yes.
right?
No.
Have you
No.
incompetently come to this, or like did you do it on purpose, right? Like,
I mean, it at the end of the day, like you want to talk about the Paramount merger with well, I don't know how that all went with Stephen Colbert. He got axed because
yes,
Trump or
the
something.
sky
Yeah.
dance, yeah.
Oh
But
yeah,
again,
Tom Cruise's movie studio wanted to buy him, and then like Trump was like, "Make it happen," but he also wanted to fire Stephen Colbert, and then everybody got mad at him.
yeah,
But the point is like even though everyone like the skits were hilarious, and yeah, I feel bad for Stephen Colbert because we've watched him since the Tech Jensen days. But the reality is like yeah, Mike, you're absolutely right. In this environment, like like the, they're the bad guys for being whiny about it, and the good guys are the one making the growth happen because it has to. Like because if it
yeah,
doesn't, that's considered a failure
and,
as a business,
and
and all the
like,
money will get wiped away from it.
and
Yeah.
the thing that's so juicy, right, about like the Colbert situation, not juicy, but like this thing I think about is like all of a sudden out of the woodwork, people are like, whoa, like ratings don't actually mean as much and blah, 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 and all these kinds of things. It's like, why all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
man, do you know how expensive Stephen Colbert's show? Like all of this information that like would have been useful to like dissecting how like late night shows and television is all working. All of this information, which either was or wasn't available, wasn't being highlighted, right? And then like,
Hmm.
and everyone goes, well, I guess since they made this argument, like again, the level of proof people like. I go back to the old George Carlin. Like, I don't have to prove a conspiracy when like-minded interests are combined, right? Like, you just like it's the burden of proof isn't on me, right? It's what they did, and
Yeah.
their justification is the inverse of their justification for keeping Stephen Colbert probably in their last earnings call, right? Someone on their last, I haven't looked, but I fucking guarantee you, someone somewhere asked someone, well, you guys know you spend so much more than like this other show does or whatever. And they go, well, we're in big markets and that's never, you know what I mean? They just
Yeah.
fucking they say anything. Bob Iger out here just spitting straight bullshit nonstop. I know this is separate, but I saw some like thing of like
No, go.
every fucking
Cook,
time a
baby.
Marvel movie comes out, Bob Iger's like, this represents the new direction for like fucking Marvel. And then like 2 weeks later, it like underperforms whatever the fuck they're thinking. And then he's like, well, that's why we get this next movie coming up. That's really the way Marvel's gonna go now. And I'm just
Yeah. Yeah.
like, are these
Yeah.
because these people's portfolios keep going up? They're not listening to this fucking guy. Like, I'm telling you, Avengers Doomsday is gonna crash the American economy, Mike. I'm
Dude,
telling you.
I honestly listen. All right, listeners, our 36 subscriber, and we love you guys. We do it all for you, and like and subscribe, tell your friends.
Shout out to
So
Jose. Potentially,
yeah, yeah.
maybe never know
Uh,
Jose.
I Mike Bedont has been crowing in my ear about this type of shit for I don't know 10 years now, and I'd like to tell you that most of the time that he's wrong. But dude, it is just like he's like 10 for 10. Like everything that even the most ridiculous shit that he comes up with, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna happen. It fucking happens.
I know
It happens. And I'm just
the
like,
world's
he
great.
says Avengers Doomsday is gonna crash the American economy. I think it will. I'm willing to bet, like somebody put a bet on Poly Market, that betting site. I would gladly bet on that. I would
Yeah, like I
gladly
mean,
throw 1,000 at
and it's
that.
one of those things like I don't know exactly what I mean, but like what I mean is that like there's a direct line between like the stupid money of COVID and like the pop culture boom of the late 2010s, right? Like
Well, yeah,
everyone like
I know what you said, but let me clarify why I would break the economy. The reason
yeah,
Mike don't he hasn't broken it down that way. Sorry, I just knew what he meant. So how it would crash the economy is they're going to throw. So think about what the best Avengers movie ever did. Like
they're gonna
what
throw
was
a
the
billion
best team up?
dollars at this fucking
Right. Okay. So they're gonna throw at
easy.
least 1 billion, and maybe like if it ends up being like a two-parter and the first one doesn't hit as much, maybe 3 billion. Right. And that 3 billion is going to come from the studios. It's going to come from the streaming service. That's going to come from marketing. Like they are going to like literally shake everybody's upside down pockets out. Like you owe us for something to make this thing work.
Hey,
And it's
don't
not
forget
going to
about
work. And
IHOP
it's going
and
to kill like
McDonald's and
a whole
Target.
industry, dude. And that whole industry is just going to, when that fails, dude, I mean, I just
and
think,
and
yeah,
think about all the like because right now all of the people like and you think about like social media and stuff, all of the influencers and all of these people that have been able to like make their bones on like the Marvel Cinematic Universe like rise and now are like trying to make their bones on like its fall. Like I couldn't like no one's I no one's gonna care. It's and like here's the thing, it's gonna make I don't know, 600, 800 million dollars. Maybe it'll make $1 billion worldwide. I don't
they're
fucking
not
know,
breaking
right? Like,
even. I guarantee you they're not
but
breaking
like
even.
they're not
No way.
breaking even, and like it's just not. It's not what it was, and I think that like that will be a warning sign to people that like, no, I'm sorry, the roaring 20s are over, right?
Yeah.
Like
And I
the
and I also think too, like, this is, like they're saving this for the Hail Mary, like, when they gotta use it. Like, I think it could be done by the end of this year, and they would make it seem like it's gonna get pushed off forever because they're pivoting on a dime. They just did that with Pedro
yeah,
Pascal in Fantastic Four. They didn't like the fact that he was a little too handsy with the pregnant cast member, like, the internet was roasting him, and all of a sudden, it's just like, Pedro Pascal is not the lead in, Fantastic Four anymore. Now it's all about Johnny Storm, and it's like, "You guys are such fucking idiots." Like, my
they're
god, the internet is fake. I'm sorry. Everybody commenting on the internet,
it's
nobody
fake.
comments on the internet. Nobody
It's a
like,
fucking.
I may
I don't
comment,
know
but
anyone.
I'm not gonna put more
I
than
mean, comment on this
sentence.
video, obviously,
Yeah,
but
obviously.
like,
Like and
uh,
subscribe. Economynothing.com. No, but yeah,
yeah,
no.
man, like it's just one of those things. Like this stuff isn't real, and I think that like the reason I'm like to like make my point, I guess a little like clearer, but is like I think that like you think about like the way everything like this pop culture peak of like Avengers Endgame and stuff, and then that goes into like COVID, where like all of a sudden like that's where like inflation goes crazy and everyone's like, oh, look, there's all this stupid money. Everyone's got a streaming service. Everyone's got a podcast. Everyone's throwing money everywhere, right? Inflation went crazy, right? But everyone's like, that's cool because everyone has the money and they're spending it on all this like dumb shit, right? But what's happened in the intervening years is that the the real fucking economists or whatever have all been like tricked by all this fake shit, right? Like I can't, but you could draw a line from like the rise of this nerd culture shit to like fucking Bitcoin and crypto and stuff, right? This is all like weird. You were telling some joke about some guy talking about like this is all like this weird like nerd shit that like people don't understand. Like this is the .com bubble, which I don't think really ever burst. I think it's we're still kind of riding it, right? But like this
Yeah.
is everyone. What is anyone spending money? Like, there's two types of people. There's people who are like complaining about Fantastic Four, and there's people complaining about fucking milk, dude. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, and
it's
I
one of
don't
those.
like who's has the time to complain about like I guess teenagers like they're the ones
No,
talking
it's
about that.
no.
Yeah,
People are distracting themselves, Mike. Right? Like, who
that's
wants
true.
to think about any of this shit? Who
That's
wants to
true.
think about it? Because no one feels like they can do anything about it, so they just like pass it off. But like again, that's the apathy that I think is allowing all of this stuff to take root. If the only people that care what's going on are the fucking bad people, then bad things are going to keep happening, right? Like,
Yeah. Do you think that there's a direct correlation between like the percentage of United States being Christian and the S&P 500 going up? I imagine that is a thing. Because hear me out why.
faith in a higher power.
Right. Well, it's like when if you're super Christian, you're trying to be like you're living, below your means because, one day you're gonna go to heaven and you're gonna be a good person. Like, well, that's what they say they do, but I don't know if they actually. But anyways, the point is they're willing to like take a lot of hardships for a payday later, and I think like isn't that what the S&P 500 is like in general, it's just like put your money away so that one day when you're old as fuck, you can actually use it. But by then you only live another 10 years, you idiot. like,
I mean, I
like-
mean, it is one of these things where, right? Like, they a lot of like a lot of America's economy is built on being afraid of being old, right? Like
really?
it really is like no, you need to grind away. Like, and of course it all like underlines like the idea that like, oh, well, if you weren't trying to save up all that money, maybe you would have ended up being in better health and not needed as much of that money, right? But like, I don't
Exactly.
know. You know what people should look into, and by that I mean me too, right? And I've been thinking about it. I'm like, man, that shit happened in Greece a couple years, like 10 years ago. We should look into that because I don't. I remember it being framed like all these young people were like mad about retirement or whatever. But like, I think my actual memory of it, right, was like the thing that we've all known is going to happen to us forever, right? But like everyone my age has just like forgotten we all knew that Social Security's not going to fucking be there. Like I don't like everyone has it in their like portfolio, but it's simply not going to fucking be there.
It's not going to be there.
It's not going to be there, right? And so like, what is everyone paying?
I don't.
Uh, but
The economy of nothing.com.
I'm looking for answers, Mike. I've been reading, and we won't talk about it this week just because like I haven't finished going through it.
Oh,
But
I
I've been
do.
reading like
Oh, you've been reading?
no, I've been reading well, listening to Thomas Paine's Common Sense, and
Oh, nice. Sounds like a good
let me
book.
tell you, uh,
Glad to hear you haven't read my book yet that I
Mike,
offered to you.
I don't think you know what I'm talking about, but that's okay. We'll talk about it next.
I
It's
know.
like it's the pamphlet that that informed the writing of the Declaration of Independence, and it's really
Oh
here's the thing
no,
that's
yeah, you told me about that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, here's the thing that's like wildly interesting, and like it's so weird that I just draw the parallels I draw in my head or whatever. It's like I'm reading it and I'm like, yeah, this is like that George Carlin bit where you could just like swap out Reagan for Trump and like it would work today. Like I'm just listening to this, I'm like, yeah, like it's very funny. I'm looking at, I'm like, it's very much like the exact argument against everyone who goes, well, if you don't have a better idea, right? And he's just like, no, let's use common sense. No one's talking about like let's divorce the idea of government and society for a second, right? Like and like and of course he's talking about like the powers exceeded by like King George, but like all of this stuff is very relevant to what's happening today because like they back then are pretending like the House of Commons is like a check on the king and all this stuff. And he's like, dude, if you have to have a check on someone, that means it's someone you don't trust. So why are we doing this in the first place?
A check on the king. A Czechoslovakian on the
but,
king.
but anyway, I haven't formed my full thought, but I was like, I was trying to think of like what I was looking for something. And I was like, I think this Thomas Paine common sense is what I was looking for. Like I think when I mentioned to you before, because it's from like 1774 or something like that. But like,
1776.
if you listen to the Mankind one, what was the Sapiens, right? If you
Yes.
can read, listen, if you can read, listen to Sapiens, this is fine. You understand what an electorate is. Like they
Yes.
weren't
Yeah.
speaking not English, right? Anyway, I don't know.
Let's take
So,
it a little less serious here. Let's dial it back, listeners. Thanks for thanks for
ooh,
listening to the
dial it
Economy
back.
and
Oh,
Nothing
I
the
like dialing it
Economy and
back.
Nothing podcast. Tonight we're going to talk about a little something more fun, maybe in Mr. Green's man caves with the captain talking about a TV show. Maybe that's where we go. Poof, we're there. Oh hey, I'm in my underwear. Captain. Oh, you're still here. Oh God. No. You want to know what we're watching tonight, Captain?
Well, I'm never told it's what you already watched. We're not watching it. You don't
Oh
have it
God.
on TV here, do you?
All right, let me put it on. Peacock's original
Ugh.
Twisted Metal. I am
Oh,
current.
I've seen season one. I've seen season one.
Yes. Okay. So, um, I haven't finished season one. I'm about over halfway through it. I only got like two episodes left, but
Fun,
surprisingly
fun.
fresh and original and fun. And I at first the very first episode I was a little like, this feels kind of cheesy, and it felt like Anthony Mackie was going over the top. But like once the other characters, you see how they're interacting and the world like kind of is built. It is done in such a fresh and original way that it gave me a little bit of hope, and I'm actually having fun with it. And Will Arnett as the voice of Sweet Tooth is just great. And when I was like, how are you going to make this crazy clown that has a head on fire work? And like they do, and it's great. And I just like that's somebody
It's
actually put effort into that. That's my
yes,
point.
it is.
Yeah.
It is delicious. It's deliciously like goofy. It's not trying to be anything more than it is, and that makes it better than the sum of its parts, right? And
Yes.
here's my thought. Here's the thing. This is the part of it where I remember one weird thing that I remember about the show. But I remember thinking like, man, I wonder if I was a Twisted Metal fan if I wouldn't like it because it does a thing that probably like a year or two prior Mortal Kombat had done that drove me fucking insane. Right? Like they do the whole Mortal Kombat movie, and then at the end they're like, and now next time we're gonna do a Mortal Kombat, and I'm like, that's bullshit. Do a Mortal Kombat this time. Whereas my feeling at the end of Twisted Metal, they're like, I guess it doesn't really follow the game or anything. At the end, they're like, and next time we're gonna do a Twisted Metal. And I was like, oh, actually, I'm disappointed. I wish you'd do this again. I think this was more
So
fun than whatever a
so
Twisted Metal is.
the only reason, as somebody who played the Twisted Metal games, the only reason that like I think that the fans actually would like it is because the game is not like linear at all. It's like you pick your character and there's a little cutscene of your character, and it's usually
Yeah, it's
like,
just a
oh,
death.
this is it was no, it's just like this is who he was, this is how he went crazy, and
Yeah,
this is who he is now. But a lot of the games don't even describe why you're there, other than the fact that it's like the end of the world and you have to. Like
yeah,
there's no like details of like all the cities in between and like stuff. So I appreciate the world building that it has done because it's like that's what was missing from those
it
games. And
really it
maybe they got better over time. I only played like up to Twisted Metal Black, so maybe but like that's probably the most Twisted Metal plans Twisted Metal like medium fans probably got to,
yeah,
right? I
and
mean,
I think that
nobody plays them all.
yeah,
Sorry.
no, I think no. I was trying to yeah, it's like a Mario Kart death battle kind of game if I remember correctly, right?
With a
And
lot of talking. Like there's only
yeah,
like one car battle, but I'm
but
okay with that. because it's like if you did that the whole time, it would be just like the video game.
You know, there like there's a certain type of like sci-fi that doesn't come around too often, but I really enjoy. It's like you think of like Demolition Man or like a bad example like Waterworld or something, right? Where like just for whatever reason, because they just put in the time and effort and they knew what to focus on and where to put the camera and where to tell the story, that like it feels like this world's stupid and dumb, but like you get there and yeah, this is the town that's a truck. Like it just it
It
works
made
because
sense in a way that I'm
they're
like,
not
I'll accept it. Sorry.
yeah, they don't they and it's a tough thing to do, right? Because sometimes you're watching a movie and you're like, please explain this, right? But it just like in my memory of it, having not seen it that recently, is like it doesn't really try and explain much of anything, right? He's just
Yeah,
like
and I
a
think
guy
that's
who
a
has to go
good
from
thing.
place to place. And like it's one of those things we talked like last week or something about Altered Carbon. And I was like, I don't like Anthony Mackie in Altered Carbon. I don't like that season. And
I
like,
didn't either.
yeah, like Anthony Mackie works like this. This is
He
like
works
like
zany. Yeah, like a zany, fun
he's
character.
a zany guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like it's like he just you can't like I don't know. He works in like that mode. I don't know. I remember really liking the show. I thought all the cast of characters were fun. Um, I don't remember. I do remember like the ending kind of, but my only remembrance of the ending is kind of that like that they're gonna do a Twisted Metal the next time. But
Yeah,
I
and
don't
you know what?
remember
But I
how
mean, I was
there's a big
so
car. They did a big car fight kind of on a big tarmac, which I enjoyed. I remember that.
I haven't got to that part yet. But the point being is
Oh, that's
like
right. You
it's a
haven't
good
finished
it's
it.
a you know it's fine. I know it's eventually leading to that. But the point is uh, from getting, to A, B, C, D, and E, it each episode feels fun. And like
Yes, and each
yeah,
episode
yeah.
feels like a fucking episode. Like if you want
Yes.
to talk about like the economy of nothing, like the cartoon, so like shows where you're like, hey Mike, the episode where this like if you'd seen, I could be like the episode in the casino, and it's an episode, and like the show is, um, uh, you know, it plays out. There's a story it's telling across the episodes, but like distinct things happen in distinct locations per episode, and you're introduced to characters and they have arcs, and then they leave the story and they come back later. It's not just like, okay, have we filmed 60 minutes worth of Game of Thrones? Okay, cut. Well, the next one will be another episode, right?
Yeah, there's really no like yeah, it's just like yeah, if you've watched Game of Thrones, you'll know you'll just be watching an episode and like it'll end with like two of the main characters talking and walking, and you're just like,
Well, like my problem with the Game of Thrones, not to like go after, but like a lot, maybe not Game of Thrones specifically, but a lot of the shows that modeled themselves after Game of Thrones is like it's 6 or 8 episodes with like 6 or 8 main characters, and like if you sit there and watching it, you're like, no, you just like it's just the 6 episodes, and there's one thing that happened in each episode, and they're just like shifting the stories among the characters so that only one thing happens to each character each season, but it seems like one thing happens each episode, but nothing's happening because it's all happening like sequentially at the same
yeah,
time. I don't know.
it's like somebody just scanned a book into a TV show and didn't actually like think about like I miss the days of TV shows like it. We always talk about Scrubs. Scrubs is a great example of a TV show that
Well,
always has a hard hitting message that still progresses the
in
plot. Yeah, and it's just like, but that takes time and effort into the writing, and I feel like that's really what we're lacking today, right? It's just that
in
process.
like episodes, like what happens so rarely in a show, I think you'll notice, like especially like these prestige shows, is like a cut that says something, right?
Yes.
So often with prestige television, I haven't seen The Last of Us, but I tell you this is how it works. They go through a scene until they get to a point, and then they just cut to the other scene, right? Because that's the moment of tension. But when you think about it for a minute, it's like, no, the thing I'm actually thinking is I want the catharsis of that scene to end. Like I want to know what happens next, but not in the exciting to be continued, come back, same back time, same back channel. You're giving me incomplete scenes and stories, right? It's like
Yeah.
you leave every scene of a thing going, what happened? Who did what? And like, in no like satisfying way. You're never left in any of these prestige shows asking like why or how or what. It's all like, wait, what happened? Are they going to explain it next scene? Yeah, at some point someone will come on and explain what happened. Oh, but they're going to have to come on and explain what happened because they refuse to show it to you at the time, and
Yeah,
they never cut. They never cut to a thing that's like the stories are never running like in parallel in a way that like, oh, cutting here means something that's like this guy's getting tortured over here, this person's having like a battle over here, and this person's having a conversation, and they're not like connected, right?
at
And then
all.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it's just me being
No, 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 no. I mean,
pejorative. It feels like
it's
so much
totally
TV
valid.
today, man. I don't know,
Well, and I
like
think the reason I was going to say, I think the reason for that is because
not like Game of Thrones is today. It's like a
no, no,
different
but I'm saying I
culture.
think a lot of reasons why shows do that today is because it's easier. It's easier to do that than actually put an effort. So like I think a show might start with the goodest like the best intentions of being like what we're talking about, but then I imagine upper management or people get involved and it's like you got deadlines and or like maybe the actors can't do it the way you want them
Yeah,
to, so it's like slowing things down, so they'd have to like switch it up and then all of a sudden like when they realize people are weak in certain areas, now they're writing just jump cut scenes to the next thing because it's progressive, but like that type of storytelling only works if that's like what the genre you're using. Like drama and like horror could do a good job with that. But does that work in a comedy? No, it doesn't, because comedy is very like
yeah. You
it's
need to like
satire. You're talking. You got to build everything, right? But they'll do it with comedy, and you're like, this is terrible, right?
yeah, I was thinking like Peacemaker season two is coming out, and so I guess that's why I'm thinking about Peacemaker. Uh, like I liked that show, and one of the things that I liked about it is that usually like the scenes ended, right? There were
Yeah,
like some specific episodes where like you would end on a cliffhanger, but the next episode started right there and you kept going. But for the most part, like when they introduced the thing, you're supposed to be asking what happened and what's going to happen next, not what just happened, right? But like TV is now built for like social media and it's built for reactions for people to go, oh, just happened, right? It's not built
yeah.
for people to go, oh, that's interesting. I'd like to see where this story goes next, right? That's not a good social media post, right? I think. And like, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It's corporations, baby. People now.
Corporations. The Nothing Corp strikes again.
The
And what
Nothing
I've
Corp
learned is,
strikes
Mike,
again.
maybe maybe we're just movie snobs. But either way, we're still right.
But like it is, yeah. I mean, this has been a long one about movies, but you know, to pull the curtain back, it is a Saturday. Mike. We're recording a little late,
Yeah,
but it's all good.
I have a fun little topic that just kind of scratched my noodle.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
it
Noodle
involves.
scratcher.
All right, so I'm just gonna say. So I was having a conversation with someone last night about. I'm gonna take it from Unbreakable to where it's going. So don't get fixed on Unbreakable. All right. So the movie Unbreakable, you have Samuel L. Jackson's character playing Mr. Glass, and Unbreakable, the whole movie's about is like Bruce Willis is a guy who like has superpowers but doesn't know it. Mr. Glass thinks that he has it, and there's a whole scene in a comic book shop about being like he thinks that comic books are kind of like origins of men. It's like basically from the principle that an idea just doesn't happen. It happens because they've seen someone do something of like superhuman strength before.
Hmm.
So so it is possible that someone could have
Yeah.
that. And well, that idea has always like if there's a thing in our world that I think that is like that possibly could have be existed at one time, I think it's a dragon. And hear me out why. All right? Dragons span every culture across the world,
Okay.
like world in different time period, different places at different times, right?
Yeah.
The zodiac. If you look at the zodiac signs, all of them are real animals except the dragon. And the zodiac's been
Okay.
around since like I don't know, like way before like I mean since they've been building pyramids around the stars and shit and all that stuff. Like they've been tracking it a long time is my point. So why make up a fantasy thing if you have 12 that are real and then 13, why would that be fake?
I,
And
I
and and there are some books out there that have claimed to see dragons of like actual like people in history. I mean, I don't know, I haven't checked it out myself, but if they were in this one book, it did say that they had healing properties and could heal almost any disease. Now, my thought is, if dragons are real, that they have either been extinct because
Hearing there's a lot,
people,
like.
yeah, I know, but if they are, they got extinct because like they got used for all their medical properties, or anybody that has them would just like hoard them because then they would have
Hmm.
like the cure for everything. Like if a
Right.
dragon, whatever, blood or
Okay.
skin or flesh was the cure for cancer, they would, you better believe they would capture every dragon, and someone would have it somewhere. Like, I mean, the
I
CIA's
don't think
done
they. I don't
crazy
think they had
things.
the. Can I nitpick one thing?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
think they had
man,
the.
they'd pick it all the
I
way. I
don't
mean,
think.
it's
I don't think they had the ability to diagnose cancer back when dragons existed. If they, like, I don't think there were
I know,
dragons
I know, I
and
know, I
like
know. But
like
maybe
an
the
MRI
plague,
machine.
like, how do we get this guy's fucking this king's foot from falling off?
I
And
mean,
he's like, oh, here's have some dragon steak, and they're like, oh my gosh, dragon steak.
well,
His foot is fine now. I want every dragon in my land. Like, I don't know. It's
I mean,
possible.
the actual answer I think is twofold. One, right? One is probably dinosaur bones or something, right? Like
Right, right,
which
right, right.
dinosaurs would have been all around, people would have found them. And then like, but if you look at like depictions of dragons and stuff, like the concept of dragons exists throughout history and places,
Yeah,
but
I'm
like
not talking the classic one on the
no,
Horde of
no,
Gold
no, no,
that
yeah.
shoots
So
fire,
like
but
so
it could
like
be
what I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
but like what I'm trying to say is that like the modern concept of dragons now allows for all of those things to be considered dragons. But like, if those people had been able to talk to each other at the time, they would be like, "Fuck you, that's not a dragon." Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's only our modern sense that wants to well, isn't it crazy? It's like, yeah, but there's so many like when you get to say God, right? Like the general idea of God. Well, every culture that ever existed believed in God, right? But like they all didn't believe in the same God, right? It's
No.
like so like this. No, I'm just, well, like I guess what I'm saying is no, I don't think they're dragons, right? But like
Well, I
they're
don't
not.
either, but I'm saying if there was one thing fantasy that could possibly be real, it's probably dragons. And
Well,
maybe
no, if
maybe
there's
not for
one
the
thing,
medical properties that I'm saying,
if
but just
there's
in the
one
sense
thing
of
that
like, yeah.
if there's one like magic thing that could possibly be real, it would be an invisible magic thing, right? Because then I would have no. You just say, well, it's right there, and you can't see it, right?
What about an
But
invisible dragon?
no, it's one of those things where like I just like it's same thing like I don't know. I hear dragon, I think Loch Ness monster, right? I'm just like there's just like I just feel like there'd be too much evidence for this kind of stuff. Is
I
I
mean, but
guess
there's
my
I
takeaway.
know, but there's like dragons on fucking flags and shit, like going back a long time. There's dragons on like walls. There's dragons in
Like you
books.
do
There's
or don't
dragons
believe
everywhere,
this.
dude.
I mean, it's a
I'm
tell.
biased because I want to believe dragons exist. Because I want, like, how cool would that be? Like,
To be
honestly,
clear,
that'd be cool.
to be clear, I need to drill down on this. I guess just for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to believe that dragons exist or
Existed,
existed? Okay,
existed. Yeah. Because I
okay.
mean, maybe not in the way that is a classic fairy tale dragon, like that blows
But
fire, but in the sense that there probably was something that looked like a dragon that could eat like a manhole, and maybe we fought and killed them all. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I just, you know, I just don't think the time, like, again, we'd have to do the research, but like a lot of this stuff that people are like, this is from myth and legend. It's like, yeah, like people wrote down, they knew they were writing a myth down when they wrote it. Like, do you know what I mean?
I mean,
Like they were
yes and no.
like
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes, like, I don't know. I think we think that like everyone who came before us was dumber than us, right? But like we're fundamentally dumber than them because we have more information and we're still acting stupid, right?
I think
But
in general we're just gonna have to agree to disagree on this one because honestly, I think
we
depending on what
now what
audience members listening, they could either go my
like
way or your way.
I just don't I don't think you made an argument for Dragon. Like you
I
made this like
my argument
ridiculous
was
strong.
my argument
Your
was
argument is
not an
that
argument. It was just me
I
connecting
can't
dots that aren't there.
disprove.
I know
Yeah,
I'm just
I
connecting
know.
dots that aren't
You
there,
know,
but it's a fun little conspiracy theory to
I
have.
know.
We can
I've
have one
seen.
every day. We can have one every now
No,
and then.
I had one about the whole all the ads.
that's real.
You know what
Like,
we should call? All right, here we go, Mike. Here's a thing we can do as an economy of nothing, as a community of 36 people. We can all start saying subtracts
okay,
instead of ads. Be like, I have Hulu with subtracts
subtracts. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying now.
instead
I
of
have
ads.
I have
The
Hulu.
subtracts.
What do we got? What?
Subtra-
Yeah.
well, because like it's a play on word ads, but it's not adding anything. It's subtracting from my enjoyment of Hulu. I have Hulu with the
Yeah, no, no, I
subtractions.
understand it. It's just it doesn't have the it needs
I
to
know.
symbolize subtracting, but also be fun to say. So it's like I have what's something that subtracts. I have Hulu negative.
Yeah. Well, like I mean, that's
Yeah,
like the easiest one to be like Disney plus, Disney minus, right?
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. I have
uh, but you can have Hulu plus with ads, but you have
they
Hulu plus
they
with
say
subtracts.
they say it with ads like it's a fucking benefit to you. You
With
know,
ads. Oh my God, by the way, this comes with ads. I don't know if you know this, but it
guys,
has ads.
it has ads,
Like,
and we know you love them.
like it's such a, it is, listen, we're on it again, but it's such horse, like, don't let them talk to you like this. You deserve better.
Yeah, just in the same fact that we deserve better video games and better movies and just better overall
Better
entertainment and
food,
services.
better
Better
water,
food,
better
yeah.
roads, better politicians.
Definitely better
Yeah,
politicians. Yeah.
but you got to start demanding these things and then acting accordingly, right?
Yeah, maybe,
Like,
maybe, like and subscribe, tell your friend, let's get this going, let's get this train
let's get
going.
this going.
Maybe we can
We
turn it
don't, we have,
around.
we don't have any subtracts around here. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
subtract free, right?
Economy of nothing at
I think
Patreon.
with, should I say with, I'm going to start putting like without ads next to like,
Yeah, without ads, totally
without ads.
free. We don't want to do that
Just
to our
for,
community.
you know what? Just to prime people for it, right? So that they'll know. It's, dude, it is, and well, you can get off it. But like, I really think people at some point in a quiet moment, instead of like you've had a very long day, just before you turn your TV on or something, just don't and
Just
just
don't.
think about what they're doing to you.
Yeah, just honestly, the best thing everybody can do instead of watching TV, and I know a lot of you out there, maybe you have to put on some headphones
No,
and
you
put
can
on
watch
some like
TV. It's fine.
music. No, I'm saying just walk
Just think
outside.
about it.
Just walk outside. If you can, try to do nothing. Raw dog it, as they say. Just raw dog it outside on a walk. And just see
Don't
where your
feel
mind
bad.
goes. See where your mind goes. It'll take you
Don't feel bad about sitting in your house quietly. You're allowed to sit quiet. You do not need something on all the time. You don't. I like it too. I like having the sound on. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
man, it don't let shit be auto playing on you. Don't fuck it. Like if you don't know, if you don't have a reason to like turn your shit on, don't do it. Right? I fucking was just looking, and then they'll stop. I always been looking at like different, different stuff on the internet to try and like figure out, hey, how can we like make, adjust things here or there to like try and get more like people to see our stuff without like I don't want to do like weird clickbaity stuff on social media, but like just as I'm influenced as I'm like doing it, like things just start auto playing, going like all of a sudden it's like I feel like my like the word like as the words are just like coming through, like it's shifting my like uh, my emotions or something. Do you know? I can feel it. I'm telling you, it's happening to everyone, and you should feel it, people. It's happening. And
And if you want to know that it's happening, we do have a real life economy of nothing alert. We have another sellout, Mike. Another sellout in the economy of nothing. Are you ready for it? You ready for it, Mike?
I am ready for it. Yes.
The latest sellout we have today, somehow I thought he was canceled, but I guess the woke move has ended and he is back. Mel Gibson. Mel
Mel
Gibson
Gibson.
splits
He never
Passion.
left.
Mel Gibson splits Passion of the Christ sequel into two films for a 2027 release. My God.
I mean,
I mean, just couldn't be more economy and nothing capitalism. at its best right here. Man, if there was ever a time for Ryan to get
Like,
it.
I'm just gonna fucking say this. And I want, like, I will argue with any theologian of any fucking strike caliber, whatever the fuck. There is nothing less Christian than like splitting up a Jesus movie for profit, right? There just isn't. Okay, like I don't know if I need to, like, give you the exact like gospel like fucking verse, right? But like it is constantly filled with like not whoring out God specifically, right? Which is all these people are ever doing, right? Like
That's all they ever do.
the only time you ever see fucking Jesus get mad in the Bible is when people are selling shit out of church. But I bet Joel Osteen never reads that fucking passage in his church. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like,
I
anyway.
imagine it'd lose the crowd.
Yeah, well, you know, you said something earlier about people believing in something or whatever, and you know, that's I guess that's
It's
good.
just, it's
Yeah,
just what's
believe
crazy is we've literally gone back in time. It's just so apparent to me
like
now. Like
it's like
I'm not
believe in
surprised by
yourself.
yeah, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. It's
Like it's
so
one of these
crazy.
things where, yeah, people have been confused into thinking that these things are more complicated than they are, right? Like like everyone's like, the world's so complicated, I don't know what to think. Yes, you do. That first thing you thought was the right thing, and then you let other shit happen, right? Like you are listening to this, and you know Donald Trump's a bad person. You do. Like, stop. What was that first thought you had? It was the right one. That guy that's mean to people all the time is a mean guy, right? Now, like,
Yeah,
fine. Come here and make some bullshit political arguments that are always bullshit political arguments on either side because everyone can justify anything with the right amount of words, especially when they have a partner on the other side of the court that wants to back and forth with them the entire time, right? But,
yeah.
like, it's
You know,
just not that complicated, right? Like, people
yeah,
like,
yeah,
this Epstein file stuff, right? We don't need to talk. Part of the economy and others, I don't want to talk about this stuff, but like
yeah.
its existence as a conversation is enough. If you need more, like, you're lying to me and yourself. Stop it, right? Like, I don't, and
Just
it's
stop it.
fine, I guess. Just stop it. I don't. It's fine. Why are you
You
lying to me?
little fibber.
Why
You
are
are
you
a little
lying
fibber
to
and you're
me?
lying because you want the stock market to go up. You
I
little
don't have
fibber.
any, but like I don't have any like power over this or anything. Like, why are people lying to me about it? I'm like on the street and people are like, "Oh, Donald Trump's helping." No, he's not. Like, you're on the same street I am, buddy. We are on the nice streets. He ain't helping you. Like,
No.
I'm not in the good part of town.
Yeah. No, I
Anyway,
agree. No, I
we don't
did
have to talk
find
about
speaking
it.
of no, no, no.
It's
Speaking of Donald Trump, I did want to bring up the fact that
oh boy,
he went through the White House and what put a bunch of gold in there. Just
yeah.
like I'm just like,
I
dude,
mean,
isn't that like the exact opposite of the White House? Like the White wasn't that supposed to be like it's for the people. Every person is a
like,
person, and we're in here, and everybody has the right to the pursuit of
yeah.
happiness. And there's like he slapped gold all on the walls, and I was like, that was a big fu to that.
Like I was wildly surprised that there was a 2 week wait for Common Sense to be rented from the library. But some other people are thinking the things I'm thinking. I'll tell
That's
you.
good. Maybe
But like
maybe they're one of the 36 subscribers.
but no, like I mean, it's just like it. It's all like so much that like it's designed to be so much so that people can say it's confusing and it's too much, but it just isn't. It's been enough is enough for a while, and like people pretending like, well, let's see how this goes, continuing to be bad. Obviously, he doesn't give a fuck about you. He just doesn't, right? And like Kamala Harris doesn't either, and
Yeah,
like
they
no
don't. None of them
politician,
do.
but like,
Yeah,
and I think like the whole thing is a problem, right? But like there are politicians that are invested in the concept of our political system, right? And he is simply invested in nothing other than himself to the point that like he talks like he's putting a ballroom in the fucking White House.
yeah,
And he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
leaving. He's just like, oh, he's gonna do a third term. A thing that for 20 fucking years at that point I will be telling people this motherfucker was
I
going to
know, and that's Mike's prediction. He's going to stay another 4, and if there's one I hope he gets wrong,
do.
it's that one. Oh God,
You
kill me.
might, we can talk about one I got wrong. Remember, everyone likes to point out I said Donald Trump wasn't going to leave, and everyone's like, "Well, he did." And I'm like, I mean, he tried everything he could
Uh,
not to, right?
he really did, and I think at the time everybody's just like, no, no,
Yeah,
that they're making him look bad. I think everybody's rethinking that decision now. They're like, no, he
like
he
what?
really
Like, and
did
like, listen,
probably try to
this
stay.
isn't
Yeah,
this isn't like a political argument. There's no politics to the thing I'm about to say. He can now just tell people to go attack the Capitol. Why not? Who's
and
going to
and and
stop
if
him?
you do it and he wins, they're gonna get a bonus as ICE agents. Because
Right?
I'm
Like,
pretty sure everybody that attacked the Capitol became ICE agents and got like
it took
basically
like I'm telling you,
60K
like
for of your
you got
tax
like
dollars, of everyone's tax dollars.
I'm
It wasn't his
telling you,
money.
take fucking. He's trying to be a fucking king, Mike. This is why Common Sense is a book people need to read. Like it's like the founding document of America. Anyway, everyone, it's fine. It's only like a 3 hour read, and I'm a slow reader. Anyway, um,
Anyways, back to the
we've gotten
economy of
so
nothing.
this is we are not talking economy of nothing at all. This is not what the podcast is. It's not talking about current events. I don't like it. Like this podcast isn't going to come out for another couple days. Like who knows what fresh hell we'll be living, right? We just can't talk about it
We
every
might not be here. It could be
right.
gone in a
Like
moment. Yeah.
I mean,
No.
it.
Yeah. Oh no.
But like
I know.
like this is what they want, Mike. They want my goddamn podcast to be about them, and it
I
simply
know.
will not.
And that's the last time we ever talked about the Orange Man, probably.
Like it's fine. Like I also think that like we keep like avoidance is bad. Like stop giving him power in your personal fucking life. He already has a giant amount of power in your personal life because he's the fucking president of the United States that's unchecked by any branch of government, right?
Yeah.
Good,
Even
good
though
job, everybody.
even though he
You can
should
stop
be.
talking to him, like like
Yeah. So anyways,
anyway.
economynothing.com. Support us at Patreon.
Economyandnothing.com. Like, yeah, economyandnothing.com, patreon.com/slash economy and nothing. Check out Twitch. Oh, yeah, so I'm gonna start doing some Twitches maybe in like the more. I don't know. They say you should make a Twitch schedule. I don't know. I'm just messing around with
I
it.
think we throw it out to the viewers. Maybe they leave some comments here. We are thinking about starting an economy of nothing gaming. Well, actually, Mike already has. He's playing the Old Republic. That's what he's doing. But I think we wanted to do an economy of nothing like once a month Twitch gaming of me and Mike playing a game and just BSing about probably the things you hear on this podcast today more so than anything. But we need a good game. We have some ideas, but I would love to hear from you guys. Good co-op games that you can just complete objectives with your friends and talk a little BS along the way and feel somewhat entertained. A good example of that would be like Stardew Valley. What's another good example of that, Mike?
Well, the Army of Two game.
The
Uh,
Army of Two game.
two
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, yeah. No, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Like, we kind of talked about it when you're on the stream. It's like I don't know. I just want to. I need to talk more on the internet. And so I decided, I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't I hate the internet. I don't feel the need to talk on the internet. I feel the need to talk. And
yeah,
I can't do it to myself anymore. No, no, the good thing is no one's watching any of the streams, so I am just talking to myself. But it's
yeah.
a
And
bit
I
cathartic for
feel
me
the
just to like
need.
run my for speed.
I feel the need for speed personally, and by speed I mean like a fun video game. So, because
Yeah.
something's got it. Because Mike gets real rambly when he on video games, and I just gotta let him go. But I have to have like a third party task.
Well, I mean, I have to like. Well, I mean, that's kind of the point, right? Like, I need to practice just kind of like fucking
I know.
talking,
I'm
right?
just messing with
Uh,
it.
But
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, so I don't know. Check that out. Check out the website, economyandnothing.com. I don't know, like we're just having a good time. I'm going to cut together some of the live streams I've done into some things. I don't know. I feel like we're in a real like. I think we kind of have the way visual radio is going to go locked in. And I think this, you can
Yeah.
see on the YouTube previs some stuff. We're just going to like kind of throw some stuff out there with like the idea that like this is the flagship thing that is this podcast where like we're trying to work through life so we can make this fucking cartoon, and it's goes better and worse at different.
Yeah. So basically, we got a lot of ideas for this show, and I know listeners, if you're still there, it's jumped around and become a lot of different things. But the way we look at it is our creative process works best when we just like let it go in whatever directions it wants to go, and then it usually brings us back home to fix a problem somewhere. Um,
Well, like
so
there is like there's a thought that like this is like eventually this is like I mean it's like our most forward facing thing, but it is like a behind the scenes of just like I don't know. It's maybe like this is gonna be like the weirdest thing of all. Like it's so weird. I'm like normal people need to talk on the internet about normal things, right? Like there are normal like just no one's talking about any normal things. I feel like even like people like I like who's I just everything's about the thing that's happening or like a weird product, and it's like no one. I don't know. When's the last time you heard someone complain about ice cream, Mike? I,
yeah,
right?
well, pretty recently
Unless,
actually.
yeah, right. Unless Ben and Jerry have said something that upset a dude at Fox News, like, and then we'll all talk about ice cream for a week, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but what I really wanted to get to the point of what I started talking was that yeah, so we are still creating the show, Economy of Nothing. It is a slow growth process, and essentially these type of episodes that we do right now, what the podcast became is just us riffing bullshit, and it's basically creating new stories for us to tell because that's the biggest problem we're having is the storyboard process. But and instead of trying to do that online, where we found that became a little too hectic, we're taking that piece offline. However, we're still going to have segments of us talking about the show and still creating characters and
Yeah,
maybe
well,
some
I think
scenes on the show. It's just going to come at will, and that's what I wanted to ask you, Mike. Is there anything from the Economy of Nothing show that directly from the website or like that maybe you've been dabbling with that you want to talk about or flesh out right now? I feel like we got good flow going, so might help you.
well, no, the only thing I have been thinking about, and we like, it's one of those things like I just didn't like get to it this week, so it's one of those things where like we'll get to it. Is like I want to kind of get back to like messing with like the some of the 3D models again, and I think like now that like I have the idea of okay, the visual radio is us as the captain and Mr. Green the whole time, right?
Hmm.
Is like okay, now I want to get back to the 3D models of the captain and Mr. Green in the car, and then what we need to do, like from like an actual visual standpoint, is like kind of like lock in like what we like about the character designs, right? Like Mr. Green's pretty locked in, but I feel like the models aren't quite the same, right? And like there's some things I like about one that I don't like about the other, and like
You know, it'd
we'll
be a
have to
good
talk
time
about
for
it,
that
but I don't have
when
anything to say right now.
we go. Me and Joel come down there to visit you. That'd be a good time to lock in what we like about the characters, and we can get third party perspective.
Yeah. I
So
think
yeah.
I think well to keep your eye on the YouTube, another thing I've been doing is going through like also like part of the thing was I have like all this backlog of things on the show I have worked on that like no one's seen yet, right?
Okay.
So like I'm gonna put out that old version of uh, the Good Charlotte song. Uh,
Yeah.
the Richard like I had cut together just like when I had first figured out how to animate the character dancing, I cut together dancing to like lifestyles of the rich and the famous and like overcut like the work we were doing. So I think I'm just gonna put like I think I'm what I've decided about this phase of the Economy of Nothing is that it's about like finding the avenue, right? Like I don't know. I know I want to make the show, but I don't know what the video version of the Economy of Nothing YouTube is, right? I know that I wanted YouTube there as a place to host the video version of the podcast, right?
Right.
And so it's trying to kind of figure out what that is. And along with that, this is the last thing I'll say, Mike, and then we can't call it. But so I went and I made a TikTok. but
Oh,
we're not gonna TikTok
okay.
unless I can find out something new. It seems that there's nothing for me on TikTok because
Yeah.
there's no outlet. Like you can't put like your individual links and stuff there, right? And I'm not trying to become a fucking TikToker, right? So
Yeah.
there's nothing, and I'm not gonna like push my like brick and mortar business or something. So like I don't know. So that's my thought had been to take the shorts for YouTube and throw them somewhere, but TikTok's not the answer.
Yeah, I don't want to be on TikTok either. Just the user agreement gives that gives it full access to your phone. I don't like that.
Well, I did it on a desktop.
Oh, okay. Right. They hate when you do that, by the way.
I know.
Yeah.
which of course, like, well, what am I gonna,
All right, you want me to do my opener with the what we're covering?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so this is Mike Allen's opener for the closer.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Economy of Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Mike Allen, the man, the myth, the legend, aka Mr. Green, aka Business Mike.